more you outplayed me. Good work. And now it's back to the drawing board. And the openings, I feel like we haven't seen anything of note thus far. They're dabbling in different lines, but sometimes we know we're going to get a Berlin match or we're going to see one side out prep the other. It's just a bunch of jockeying right now.
Agreed, but I will say the one thing we also haven't seen is sometimes Hikaru will play I'll call them the dubious Hikaru specials, right? Where he'll play the B3 stuff or play the openings he knows objectively aren't great, because he's so comfortable with them and he knows he can outplay people anyway. I don't think he's messing around with kind of dubious openings against Magnus, Robert. I think that's one thing we've seen.
And
although
that was a mistake from Matt. Apparently it was almost winning for him, and now suddenly Black is the side for choice. Black has the bishop pair and isn't losing material. Please take me, says Magnus. I want to hit both your rooks. And Hikaru says, absolutely not.
How do you play chess like that with no time? I don't know. I'm speechless.
Magnus, for like the fifth time today, has sacrificed an exchange in a great way. Like, look at this position. He has a bishop and 2 pawns for a rook. He also has the healthier king. His connect 4. I win.
Well, I'll say the other thing he has is an edge on the clock for the first time, although right as we say that, he blunders. Is there some sort of mate?
It's mate.
G5 is coming and it's mate. Hikaru has to sack.
And then his pawn should go. Just push the F pawn. E5. Oh, but then he gets behind the pawn first, and then he chases it down. That was well played. Good technique. 5 extra seconds on the clock for Magnus.
Yeah, Hikaru takes one of the pawns, but it's not enough. Freddy's going to get frisky on the F file, and Magnus is going to level things up in this game unless something wild happens. He also has a huge edge on the clock, which I think was maybe the biggest turnaround of all, Robert, in this game. Magnus was leading on the clock wire to wire.
And did you see that? Magnus went king e3. He gave up his pawn, so it was objectively a bad move. But he's playing a little smile there, and a draw is a fair result, but a good one for Hikaru, who keeps his lead.
Yep. It's funny, because I think a lot of people just don't appreciate some of these skills Hikaru has. These aren't accidental. These were trained. We always joke Hikaru was raised on ICC, right? And he was a human who was beating bots when bots were first entering the online chess servers. And he figured out strategies to beat computers, which is really mind-blowing when you think about it. And that's one of the reasons he is so resourceful, so pesky and tricky on the online formats.
And this position, I have to say, at first glance, it looks really good for white. The black king feels less safe than the white king, and the bishop is out, but the king slid to the corner, and now the black king is being hunted.
Yeah. Magnus wants a victory. He needs to turn it around, bring it back within a game. Looks like he's on pace. Hikaru gives the head shake. It's not over yet, but Magnus should get this one. Black's king is wide open. You just got to figure out a way to break through if you're Magnus.
Yeah, queen d5, queen d7 looks like a good way to do just that. And can you take it? He does, and bring the queen in. Yeah. I think white can bring the queen to f7 and then push this pawn.
Yeah. Hikaru trying to make things... Oh, you got queen g1, c1 queen. Outside chance of perpetual.
Oh, the queen! Queen f7. Take it!
Oh,
I take the second time.
He sees it the second time. That's pretty funny.
Oh, gosh. He waves his hand. What was I doing?
By the way, Hikaru's streaming, of course.
He realized that he was winning. Because he's on a delay because he's streaming. So he's like, I could have just captured his rook and won the endgame.
Oh, it was perpetual. Okay, I didn't realize that it was a draw. Yeah, but he just realized he was winning if he had traded rooks.
Oh, this looks really bad for Hikaru, though. Like, I know Hikaru sometimes plays some dodgy stuff, but handing your opponent the light squares in front of your king feels like a bad idea usually.
Hikaru is... he couldn't make it as a wise man. Maybe he'll make it as a poor man stealing, although right now Magnus is going to steal one.
Danny,
that game reminds us of who Magnus Carlsen is. This is how you remind us, Magnus, of who you really are.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to keep going in this Nickelback direction. I can. I can if you want.
We can force it all day. I wonder if one day we'll confess how many times you and I have played the game where we were sneaking words on the show. Because our producers don't want to know that. But every once in a while, talent has to, we won't go there. But every once in a while, we have fun.
I mean, Danny, come on, let's be real. Someday, somehow, I'm going to make it all right, but not right now. Okay, well, Magnus needs to make it all right now because he's down a lot in the match, but he's better in this position because he's going right after Hikaru's king.
Yeah, he is. Although he's still down 5 games.
Oh,
so I feel like he just won. Didn't that make it 4? Maybe I missed something.
Well, I think we missed a lot because we were singing.
We were, stuck in Nickelback references, which is, never go full Nickelback, as they say.
And I agree with that chat that Hikaru is so good. He's been playing amazing chess. But in this game, look at Hikaru's king. It's wide open, and Magnus isn't even down any material for this attack. Yeah,
Magnus is rolling here, and it is a 4-game. It is a 4-game. I'm glad that even when I lose my focus, full Nickelback, I was on top of the score there. Magnus should bring this to 3 games unless something crazy happens. Although I'm not going to doubt those knights. This is okay. He's doing a good job cleaning up the tactics. No more forks. Push him, baby. And Magnus brings us to 3 games here.
No, Magnus is slow right now. He's down to 6 seconds.
Really?
He should get this done, but he's playing very slowly.
Yeah, Hikaru is pre-moving the bleep out of this.
Okay, but that was good.
3 seconds.
That was really nice by Magnus there. To push his F-pawn, get his king involved.
What a save.
That was incredible. He understood that if his rook was behind the pawn, which you normally want, he couldn't get his king back. So he drops the rook to the first rank, brings it in front of the pawn, and his king was able to scamper back just in the nickelback of time. So that was a nice save there by Hikaru Nakamura. And and now we have another game that's mainline stuff.
And yeah, we're going to do the game chat where all of us are on this inside joke, and Robert and I are going to try to squeeze Nickelback references into the interview, and it'll be awesome. It's going to be fun. I don't know who we're going to be interviewing. We still got a long ways to go. I will say that, again, I know it's a 3-game lead, but Hikaru's had his chances, Robert, objectively, I think, to make the lead bigger. We know he missed those spots in a couple of endgames, right, where he didn't convert to the king upon ending. So will it come back to haunt him? Right now, Magnus, again, threatening to make it a 2-game lead.
Yeah, he should be winning this. I don't see how you stop this pawn unless you give up your rook. And A7 right now. Who cares about this bishop? You are getting this queen.
Yeah.
Magnus, he wins a quick game there. It's only a 2-point spread.
That's huge. Falls with the E6 pawn, and what a huge win for Hikaru that is, to keep Magnus's momentum back.
And you could just see the pain in Magnus's face as they get into another endgame. No queens on the board in this one. It seems to be the match strategy for these players. Let's go down to the endgame. White has the bishop pair, but we'll see if Magnus is still reeling from that loss. He needed to hold that game, but he still does have enough time to get a couple wins here. What is this position? Danny, this just looks really good for Magnus. To my eyes, and the eval bar is absolutely unfazed.
Yeah. It looks great for White. But it's also a closed position that could go for a while here, the E-file being the only open one. So I'm starting to play the meta game, Robert. I'm looking at the time. Again, Magnus did overcome 3 games in 5 minutes for Perugia. But Nakamura is a different animal. And you're starting to get up against it, where the closed positions are ones you just have to avoid, even if you're better.
Now Black is better, and he pushes his pawn, so maybe some trades will happen opposite colored bishops. There's a check on D5 here. Sorry, why is Black better? Is it because the B pawn is just that strong?
You're asking me, Eval bar needs a raise. Now that is a pun I could get behind right there. Okay, Magnus finds a way to get the counterplay. Unfortunately, though, this is a draw that's going to take another 30 seconds off the total game clock for sure. Hikaru's going to milk this all the way to the end, and we're going to be under 5 minutes.
And if you're Hikaru, I don't think you push the B pawn. You might just lose that endgame, as Black will be up a piece, but White will have these passed pawns that will roll up the board. So Magnus needs to go like King G5, back to F5, back and forth over there, and Hikaru might, he goes in. He goes in for the win.
He goes for it.
But Hikaru's down on time. He's losing.
Oh, F4.
And here,
Magnus pushed it too far.
Magnus just needs to move. It doesn't matter if you blunder.
What a huge momentum shift here.
F6 and E7.
Oh my gosh. What a momentum shift. Magnus Carlsen wins to bring this within 2 games, and we have 4 minutes and 45 seconds left. I spoke too soon. I thought it was a dead obstacle bishop ending. Hikaru should have taken the draw.
And then Hikaru brought his king in. He could have repeated at any moment, and you saw the grimace on his face. That was one of those, like, I shouldn't have done that. Why did I do it? And speaking of why is he doing things, what is this opening for white? It looks really bad.
Yeah. This is where Hikaru is... You got to take a breath and not go into the kind of dubious opening lane that, again, sometimes he can revert to, which works against 99.999% of people in Bullet. But Magnus is going to get positions like this and be better if Hikaru plays those weird openings.
Just light square domination. You can't kick that.
Yeah.
Whoa, a queen sack on G4. Wow.
Wow.
He made that decision
actually
so quickly.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah. That was ridiculous. That might be one of the most ridiculous moments of the match. He's losing the game, though.
Yeah, he's losing the game now. It's falling apart, and that king is in a lot of danger. What a move there, G5, by the way, forcing the rook to the awkward square. And this is going to be a 1-game match with 3 minutes to go. Yeah, I think he should have played king E5 there instead of the last rook A5 and allowed the game to go on. Now you're down to a game, though, that it could be it, right? If Hikaru wins this game, that's it. Magnus got to win to send us into overtime or at least not lose.
And what is this opening? It looks very adventurous, and white's king is safely castled. Black's king remains in the center, but black does have the pair of bishops. So I would say initial advantage white, but if the checkmate attack doesn't happen quickly, then black suddenly might be right back in this.
Agreed. F6. A spicy move.
And
you want that knight on D5, but he wants more than just a trade.
Wow,
the rook enters the center, but here comes bishop E3.
But rook D3. Oh, he walked into it. Check. I missed the check.
Oh, he had a check. I missed the check.
Oh.
Everybody missed the check.
I mean, we're in scary territory. This queen just wrapped around a B5, but it's doing nothing over there. Yeah. In fact, the E4 pawn's about to drop, and the F6 pawn is also weak in the endgame.
No one knows what's going on here, least of all the eval bar. It's a 5-second time advantage, though, for Hikaru, which is huge if things stay the same. Magnus has got to make something happen or he's going to get flagged.
Yes, if Magnus is going to lose, he better keep an eye on the match clock and then resign immediately because there's still time left, and he would have a chance to win that game. But, it's getting bad for him. It looks like the eval bar is saying white is better.
That's a brilliant point. If Magnus is going to lose, he needs to resign like now.
Yes, but it's unclear. In this position, it looks like black is the one who's doing well. He's stealing the pawns, but his clock is down under 11 seconds. He's grabbing all the pawns. He's got to go. He has to rush this like he's never rushed before.
Yep, 10 seconds. Here comes the A pawn. Push him.
He missed it. It's a tied match. It's a tied match, and they get one more game. I think there were seconds on the clock.
Well, I gave a commentator's curse earlier. And it backfired on Hikaru Nakamura. I guess I just cursed Magnus there because I am shocked that Hikaru Nakamura has won that game.
I just can't believe Magnus didn't drop his queen back when he was stealing all the pawns in the position. Maybe he just didn't realize there was a bishop on b3 before that. He didn't realize he could go back, but that's a thing of the past. And right now, Magnus with the white pieces has a nice position, but he's down 5 seconds. So he needs to go after this d6 pawn. He needs to hammer away at Hikaru's setup. Did he just... Oh, he got so fortunate that the rook on a8 was loose.
So lucky. He blundered the skewer, but it didn't matter. Hikaru worse in this position, but as you said, up a few seconds on the clock. But again, it's win or go home, literally. If anyone earns a 2-point margin, everybody, that's it. Chip it. We're done.
And what is happening here? The rook b3 steals a pawn, but this open c-file. Watch out for the black king. Oh, they're making mistakes, both of them. Of course, it's bullet. It happens. Yeah. There's apparently a winning... Queen x7! Nerves. Free knight! Free knight!
Queen e7, it was just hanging. Oh, he's still hanging. He sees it the third time.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, my gosh. Agreed. These games never disappoint. Oh, my gosh. Hikaru, on a little bit of a delay, that's the moment where his knight was hanging.
And now bishop is hanging.
It's not over, though.
Oh, he just dropped a second piece. So he first dropped a knight, then a bishop. And his queen's not trapped, but look at Magnus. Just get those queens off the board. And then, he didn't even have to. Hikaru resigned.